follow the Softball Strength Academy YouTube page to watch the show. And also, we are on Apple, Google, Spotify. Follow us on social media at Matt Jim Tara, and Cassie is at Coach_Cassie RB on Instagram, at Coach Cassie RB on Twitter. And today we're talking episode 45 about thinking along with the pitcher. Jake Epstein and I on the Lab Epstein Hitting Podcast talk so much about that magic word. It's become the word of both podcasts, really. And that word is having a plan, or phrase, I guess, having a plan up there at the plate and having an approach. There's that magic word, having the approach at the plate. And part of that approach is thinking along with the pitcher. But there are some subtle differences that you and I were talking about off mic about baseball and softball players when it comes to thinking along with the pitcher. There are those similarities and differences, but both are very subtle, and there's a fine line you're walking when you're talking about those two differences, thinking along with the pitcher, both baseball and softball.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because I grew up in softball. I played softball. So much of what I originally started to coach was softball. And then when I met my business partner who was coming in from the baseball end for the last 9 years, now I've been able to run parallel with working with some baseball players and diving into that sport a lot more. So it is neat to see, hey, guess what? A rise ball and softball is actually very, very similar approach as a hitter to a high spin rate fastball that you're facing, or the slider is really what we call a drop curveball, or just little things like that, or a cutter is going to be very similar to a screwball. So there are these similarities, but I think maybe most people think softball, the uniqueness lies in the rise ball. I actually think the uniqueness lies way more in the distance that the pitch is thrown. The fact that when a hitter moves around in the batter's box, it is going to now impact those 43 feet way more than it would impact what am I blanking? 60, what's exactly the
60 feet 6 inches. Yeah.
There you go. I knew it wasn't exactly 60, but so it's those like 2 to 3 feet in the batter's box are going to make a bigger difference on the 43 feet than it is on the 60 feet. So just little things like that, that pop up are just interesting to note, that again, why you can't train hitters exactly the same, but there are the similarities that you can have the crossover with.